If you've been scrolling through endless espresso machine listings, watching video after video of baristas pulling perfect shots, and still feel stuck wondering whether a lever machine is worth the countertop space, this review is here to clear that up. I've been looking at the Pavoni Esperto Abile for a while, comparing it to both the classic manual models and the newer super automatic units that promise one-touch coffee. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The hesitation most of us feel isn't just about price, it's about whether the machine will actually fit into our morning routine without becoming a novelty that gathers dust. First off, the Esperto Abile is a lever espresso machine, and that means you're doing the work that a pump would normally handle. For many home baristas, that's the point. You get direct control over pressure, you can experiment with shot timing, and you become part of the brewing process rather than just pressing a button. The trade-off, though, is a learning curve and a bit more physical effort. If you're the kind of person who enjoys the ritual pulling the lever, hearing the hiss of steam, watching the crema form right in front of you, then this machine aligns perfectly with your coffee philosophy. If you just want a quick caffeine fix before a Zoom call, you might find the manual lever a little cumbersome. Let's talk about the day-to-day reality of using the Esperto. The chrome finish with those custom rosewood handles looks striking on a kitchen counter, and the 54-ounce nickel plate boiler gives you enough capacity to brew up to 16 espresso shots before refilling. In practice, that means a family brunch or a small gathering can be handled without constantly topping off the water tank. I've timed a typical morning routine: fill the boiler, heat up, and you're ready to pull a shot in about 3 to 4 minutes. That's comparable to many pump-based machines, but the manual lever adds a tactile element that can be surprisingly satisfying. The dual frothing system's one column for steaming milk, the other a classic steam wand, make it easy to switch between a latte and a cappuccino without juggling separate tools. When I tried a latte for myself, the steam column heated the milk quickly, and the frothing whisk produced a smooth microfoam that held its shape for a proper latte art swirl. Now, who should really consider buying this machine? If you already own a decent grinder and you value quality espresso over convenience, the Esperto fits right in. It shines for people who want a machine that can serve both personal coffee cravings and a modest crowd of guests. Because the lever gives you fine-tuned pressure control, you can experiment with extraction times, tamping pressure, and grind size to dial in your perfect shot. The machine also appeals to those who appreciate Italian design. That rosewood handle isn't just a decorative afterthought, it gives the lever a comfortable grip, making those repeated pulls less of a fatigue factor. In short, the target buyer is a coffee enthusiast who enjoys the ritual, has the patience to master manual operation, and wants a machine that looks as good as it performs. On the flip side, you'll want to skip this if you're a busy professional who needs a coffee machine that does everything at the push of a button, or if you're a beginner who isn't ready to invest time into learning lever mechanics. The lever action, while rewarding, does require a bit of force, especially when the boiler is fully heated. If you have limited hand strength or mobility issues, the effort could become a daily nuisance rather than a pleasure. Also, because this is a manual machine, you won't get the programmable dosing that many super-automatic models boast. So if you're after precise shot volumes without manually timing each pull, you might feel a little constrained. Strengths that actually matter in real life: the quality of the boiler and the dual frothing system. The 54-ounce boiler means you're not constantly refilling, which is a hidden advantage during weekend brunches when you might be pulling shot after shot for a small crowd. The steam column, separate from the wand, reduces the chance of temperature fluctuation when you switch between steaming milk and pulling espresso. That consistency shows up in the taste. Your espresso stays balanced, and the milk textures stay silky. The group pressure gauge is another practical touch. It gives you a visual cue of the pressure you're applying, a feature that many manual machines lack. By watching the needle, you can learn to pull a consistent pressure, which translates directly into more repeatable shot quality. Weaknesses are subtler but noticeable once you live with the machine for a month or two. The chrome exterior, while beautiful, tends to show fingerprints and water spots, so you'll find yourself wiping it down more often than you'd like. The lever's resistance, while generally smooth, can become a little stiff if you don't keep the metal components clean and lightly lubricated. I've also noticed that the steam wand can be a bit finicky when trying to achieve higher milk temperatures. It takes a few extra